You are staring at your phone screen at 2 a.m., the blue light washing over your face as you scroll through a curated gallery of lives that seem more polished than yours. You see a pair of sneakers, a sleek espresso machine, or perhaps a minimalist desk setup that promises the productivity you've been lacking. You don't think about the $1,200 price tag. Instead, your eyes drift to the small gray text underneath, as low as $48 a month. In that moment, a strange psychological alchemy occurs. The weight of the $1,000 commitment evaporates, replaced by the lightness of a weekly lunch expense. You click buy, and for a fleeting second, the dopamine hit is exquisite. You feel like a person who has their life together. But as the screen goes black, that familiar low-grade anxiety creeps back into your chest. You aren't just buying a product. You are signing a contract to auction off your future hours to pay for a past version of yourself. This isn't a lack of willpower, and it's not because you're bad with money. You have been caught in a sophisticated trillion-dollar psychological net designed to exploit the very way your brain perceives reality. This is the Great American Debt Trap, and the most dangerous part is that it's designed to feel like a safety net until it's too late. The trap begins with a fundamental shift in the American psyche, the transition from "what does this cost" to "what is the monthly payment?" This isn't just a change in shopping habits, it's a profound rewiring of your cognitive architecture known as mental accounting. When you see a lump sum of $1,000, your brain's pain receptors, the same ones that fire when you stub your toe, actually activate. Spending a large hoard of cash feels like a physical loss. But the financial industry discovered a loophole. By breaking that $1,000 into 24 installments of $50, they bypass your brain's pain of pain. You no longer categorize the purchase as a major investment, but as a discretionary subscription. You tell yourself it's just one less takeout meal a week. But here is what most people miss. While you are mentally accounting for a small $50 fee, the system is accounting for your life force. At this moment, total credit card debt in the U.S. has surged past $1.1 trillion, a staggering peak that reflects a society living on a razor's edge. The average interest rate on these cards has ballooned to over 24%. To put that in perspective, if you carry a $5,000 balance, the price of a few nice gadgets and a modest vacation, and only pay the minimum, you will end up paying back over $15,000 over several decades. You are essentially paying for that vacation 3 times over, yet because the monthly bite feels small, the wound never seems to bleed. This is the drip feed of financial ruin. Think about the last time you used a buy now, pay later service. On the surface, it feels like an act of empowerment. It allows you to have the lifestyle you want now, while your future self handles the burden. This is a psychological phenomenon called future self-continuity. Evolutionarily, our brains struggle to view our future selves as the same person as our current selves. When you take on debt, your brain treats future you as a stranger who will somehow be richer, more disciplined, and less tired than you are today. You are essentially stealing time from a person you haven't met yet. The numbers tell a chilling story of this disconnect. While the cost of living and housing in the U.S. has skyrocketed, with the median house price increasing by nearly 300% since the 1980s when adjusted for inflation, wages have remained largely stagnant. Debt has become the bridge people use to cross the gap between their reality and the standard American life portrayed on social media. But this bridge is built on quicksand. The average American now spends roughly 10% of their disposable income just servicing non-mortgage debt. It's a silent tax on your freedom. But the real trap is deeper than the math. It's the way debt alters your relationship with your own labor. Imagine 2 people. One saves $500 a month into an index fund returning 7%. In 30 years, they have nearly $600,000. The other pays $500 a month toward credit card debt at 24% interest. They will never get out. They are running on a treadmill that is speeding up every single year. This is the mathematical inverse of wealth creation. While wealth building utilizes the miracle of compound interest to work for you while you sleep, debt utilizes that same miracle to work against you while you sleep. It is a parasite that feeds on your potential. But why do we keep doing it? It's often a coping mechanism for a sense of powerlessness. When the world feels chaotic and the big goals like homeownership or retirement feel impossible, we reach for microstatus. We buy the premium coffee, the newest iPhone, or the designer jeans on a payment plan because they provide a temporary sense of control and belonging. It is an attempt to soothe an attachment wound, a fear that if we don't look the part, we aren't worthy of the tribe. The industry knows this. They don't sell you products, they sell you an identity that you can rent for $29.99 a month. This creates a vicious cycle of shame. When the bills pile up, the avoidance coping kicks in. You stop looking at your bank statements. You feel a pit in your stomach when a notification from your banking app pops up, so you swipe it away. This shame is the fuel that keeps the engine running. Shame prevents you from talking about it, and silence prevents you from fixing it. You begin to feel like a failure, which creates more stress, which leads you to seek more retail therapy to feel better, leading to more debt. It is a closed loop of self-destruction that has nothing to do with your intelligence, and everything to do with a system that has weaponized your neurobiology against you. It's time to stop the cycle, but not through the typical frugality lectures that tell you to stop buying lattes. That only addresses the symptom, not the cause. The real shift happens when you reclaim your mental accounting. Start by looking at every small monthly payment and multiplying it by 12. That $50 per month isn't $50. It's a $600 annual subscription to a life you can't actually afford yet. Look at your debt not as a balance, but as a commitment of your future hours. If you make $25 an hour and you buy a $1,000 phone on credit, you aren't just paying $1,000 plus interest. You are committing over 40 hours of your life, a full week of waking up, commuting, and working, just to own a piece of glass and aluminum that will be obsolete in 2 years. Ask yourself, is the person you are becoming worth more than the objects you are collecting? The great American debt trap only works if you stay in the fog. It requires you to remain disconnected from your future self. But once you realize that your peace of mind is the most valuable luxury item you can ever own, the allure of the easy monthly payment begins to fade. Would you like me to help you draft a specific plan for how to talk to your future self about these financial choices? Or perhaps you'd like to dive deeper into how to break the dopamine loop that triggers impulsive spending.